Hi guys, class 6, how are you doing? I hope you all are doing good and you have enjoyed your weekend and you had fun and you're playing every day. So it's not a problem. I hope you have been in touch with your studies, so you enjoyed your Sunday, Saturday, everything. And hi Faiz, wish you a happy belated Eid Mubarak. I hope you're having fun and you enjoyed your Eid. And rest of you, hope you all are doing good and rocking. So you must have seen the questions that I had put up with the answers. You must have got it on Friday, I guess. Friday or Saturday, you must have seen it on the website. It was been uploaded. I have uploaded it, so it gets time to show on the website due to the network. So you 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 must have seen it on Friday or Saturday. Most probably on Friday, because Friday morning I put it up, and by afternoon you should be able to see it. Anyways, so if you have not seen it, just see it and make sure that all the question answers have been done for you and have been given to you. The long and the short ones. Rest you have to take care of is you will be doing the tick the correct answer, inscriptions and monuments. That one is there. Fill in the blanks. Short answers and long answers I have done for you. Okay, so that is done. So we are coming to the second chapter, and that is going to be early humans. Okay, so we are going to start with the early humans. I hope you don't have a problem, and we'll go ahead with this right away. Okay, so let's start with your second chapter, the early humans. What I had explained it much more a bit earlier. I had given you the explanation, but as you have your new book now, and so we are coming back to it again. But basic information I've told you. Studying in the past we have done already. What did we do in the studying in the past was we history study of the past was your prehistory, proto-history and history. After that we did the geographical framework. We had dates in the history, BC and AD, then the geographical framework, how things went, how the geographical factors depend upon India, how does it take care of India, what are the natural borders, what are the rivers, how was the placement going on, geographical development, what happened, where there were people, too much of population, where people were settling down. And then we had sources of history, like what was it, the archaeological sources and the literary sources. Then we had the inscriptions, and we had the, what do you say, forgetting, we had the monuments and the artifacts and the coins. The numismatics was with the coins, and then we had the literary sources, then we had the religious literature, secular literature. I had told you about this, everything I had explained it to you, and then I have done the question answers for you. And if you have any more issues regarding chapter 1, you please do go ahead and get in touch with me. I am there on the both the groups in Hartford. I am there, and on the WhatsApp group. Please do ahead and go ahead and send me information. Jot down some message for me, and don't be scared about it. There's nothing. No one is going to get angry with you. This is the only way you'll be able to get in touch with me. And I had posted another video on Friday. I don't know, Friday or Saturday it must have come up. For Monday I had posted it regarding, I was giving some motivation things, how to go ahead with your studies and all. I guess you can see it every Monday. You'll get to see this. It'll be there on that class 10 page. You'll get to see the video there. So I put it on class 10 so that all they are senior most, so they get the privilege first, and they'll be seeing it before anyone else, and anyone can see it anytime. And if you have logged into YouTube and you have subscribed the Hartford channel, then as and when the video gets ready, uploaded, you will be getting information on your WhatsApp, and you will be able to see it. Okay, so that's done, and one is done. If you have any more issues, I'm repeating again, if you have any kind of issue, even if you have an issue for one word, write down a message. I will get back to you with a video and better explanation for you to understand. And my job is this, to make you understand, and I'm going to do it and make sure that you understand, because I don't want you to just learn the question and answer. I want you to learn the subject. Okay, I'll share with you something about the decode and decipher of epigraphy. actually who are the people who had done all this information, and this was not there in your book, but I still want to share it with you so that you can come to know about it. Epigraphy is the study of writing found on hard surfaces, generally stone or metal. Okay, it refers largely to inscriptions. Important epigraphs include the law code of the king Hammurabi of Mesopotamia, and the tablets of the Minoan of Mycenaean civilization in Greece, and the edicts of Emperor Ashoka. The scholars who studied the decipher old writings and inscriptions are called epigraphists. People who epigraphy is a study like geography, history. Epigraphy is a study of old writings, to decode and decipher old writings. Decipher means to get to know what is it written, what are those inscriptions are all written, and those are called epigraphists. Epigraphists, those who write about it and who take some famous epigraphists. The Rosetta Stone, 110 centimeter by 70 centimeter, was discovered in 1799. It had three scripts on it: the Greek, Egyptian histographics, and an unknown third script. An epigraphist tried to decipher it but were unsuccessful. Finally, Jean Francis Champollion deciphered it in 1822. It was something about the Greek history. The Ashokan inscriptions, rock and pillar edicts were deciphered by James Prinsep in 1837. And that is just an information I want to share with you. And the Indus script, the script of the Indus Valley civilization, presents the greatest challenge to epigraphists. It has not been deciphered till now. The script is difficult to decipher because of the following reasons. We neither know the letter or signs nor the language used. The script is not related to any known script of that or a later period. There is not enough material to work with. Since the text is only on seals, it is very short. The average number of signs in a text is less than 5. And it's even the longest text has 26 signs. Many signs have slight variation. Okay, so they have not been able to solve it. So this is how it is been. I wanted to share this information with you. The Indus Valley civilization still hasn't been done, and this is what it is. Okay, so now we come to the early humans. I just want to tell you three things. There are three parts in it: the Paleolithic, the Mesolithic, and the Neolithic age. These are the age, or you can call them the Stone Ages. During that time, it was Paleo means old, Meso means middle, and New means new. And Lithic has been derived as from the Greek word lithos, which means stone. That is the Stone Age, the Old Age, Old Stone Age, the Middle Stone Age, and the New Stone Age. Clear? So we are going to deal with the Stone Ages. Stone Ages means in the sense that when people were using stones, so these are called Stone Ages. How they developed into better things, how did they develop brought into handles with it, how did they work on it, and how did they go ahead and hunt with it, how did they use it as other tools, how did they use it in their daily lives, what important role it played in their lifestyles during that time. We are going to study that about the early humans, how did they use it. Okay, is that clear? So can we start? So let's rock. Okay, fine. So actually humans I have sent you links also regarding the early humans. You must have gone through that. Please go through those links, are very good. I choose and take a lot of time to take them out so that you can understand it properly. I've given it in sometimes in animation style, sometimes in cartoon style, and sometimes in graphics. I've given some National Geographic ones also, I guess you must have seen, and for class 5 also I have done that with their equatorial region. I have given them a huge link which they can sit and watch and understand. See guys, I want you to understand the subject, get hungry for it, get to know, make some more questions, jot down questions, throw it to me on the group. I'll be able to help you. I'll be honored to go ahead and give you more and more elaborated explanations to you guys. Okay, now humans have evolved greatly through the millions of years of their stay on the earth. When they came in, I don't know. I'm not God, so I don't know. Seriously, honestly, we are going to know about it. Okay. In the early stages, they were hunter and gatherers and nomads. Nomads are people who travel from one place to another. Hunters and gatherers, I had given you the explanation already in the last classes, that hunters and gatherers, they used to move around and one place also, they used to hunt for one place. Suppose if something finishes at one place, they have to go ahead. Hunter and gatherers, you have to hunt, gather and bring it and eat it. So that was during that time. Now also our head of the family is our father. He hunts jobs, he works there, then he goes out, gets his salary, gathers food, buys it, brings it, gives it to us, our mother cooks it. Simple, just developed and nothing else. Always on the move, they have traveled from one place to another in search of food, water and shelter. They hunted wild animals, gathered fruits, roots, nuts and seeds. That was their main occupation actually, main style of living. When the resources of plant and animal food got exhausted into one area, they used to move to another place. Basically, about the humans I'm telling you. They lived a primitive life. Now, very normal type of life. Primitive means very normal type of rough type of wildlife type of things, and they did not wear anything during summers. They used to go around naked. During the winter season, they used animal skins, bark of trees, and leaves to keep themselves warm. Nights were generally spent on trees or in caves and rock shelters. This is the basic information about the early humans, but we'll come to know a little bit more about it in the Stone Age. Now, the Stone Age can be divided into, how many parts did I tell you? Stone Age can be divided into 3 parts. Or rather, I can say it can be divided into 3 periods of study based on the type, quality of stone and tools that early humans used. Isn't it? So, as I said, Paleolithic or Old Stone Age, this period lasted from early times till about 10,000 BC. That is still about 12,000 years ago. 12,000 years is not a joke. It is further divided into early, the lower, middle and late, upper Paleolithic. Humans used crude stone during this period. Crude means rough type of stones were used. It was not polished, they did not polish, they just took and used. Mesolithic or the Middle Stone Age, this period lasted from 10,000 BC till 8,000 BC. Okay. Stone tools of this period are called microliths. They were smaller, sharper and more efficient than the tools of the Paleolithic age. Apart from stone, animal bones and horns were also used to make tools at that time. Older varieties of crude stones tools, however, continued to be using during this period. I have told you earlier also, stones were there, stones are now also. We do that, we do grinding on stone. Dosa grinding is also done in stone in South India. Then the grains which in the field, the wheat, other grains which come up, the rice grains, they are also put in the stone and hit. Chili paste is also made in stone, and we do that masala on that stone. That is also a stone. At that time it was stone, this time is also stone. Isn't it? Then doctors used to put in the stone, used to rub with that small stone string, and it is that round part of thing. You do your medicine, you do your jari booty, you do your Ayurvedic medicine and all stones. Now it is much more polished. We are staying in the house of stone with bricks and mud. Before they were staying in home, they were staying in caves. They had unpolished stone. Now we have granite in the kitchen, granite in the bathroom, marble on the floor, polished. Same thing. Nothing is changed. It's only developed. It will never change. That's what I think. It cannot change. It can only develop or it can demolish. Because history has to repeat itself. It is going to. And then the Neolithic Stone Age or the New Stone Age, this period lasted from 8,000 BC till about 4,000 BC. The New Stone Age tools were further improvement on the earlier variety of the tools. Now they were better than the what? They were better than the Paleolithic and the Middle Age. Okay, they were much more better than that. The Neolithic, the New Age. and a variety of tools. The tools were much more sharper than the ones used in the Mesolithic period. They were also polished to sparkle. A large number of axes were found, sickles were there, spears, arrowheads. This is during the Neolithic period, the New Age, when people brought it into design. Now there were some sites. Evidence of hunters and gatherers have been found, discovered in many places. Generally, these evidences are in the form of stone tools. Like, didn't I tell you what wrapper is being thrown in the school field or in the dustbin? Sometimes anyone comes and finds, so we'll be able to know what type of toffees or what type of biscuits or what type of wafers, chips, kurkures people used to eat, what was the cost, what was the quality. So still smaller stones were given sharper point and tied to arrows. They started using arrows and all, and they used it to hunt animals. So there was a development of the polish and the techniques. And the techniques of tool making also was made stone on stone. In this, the stone to be shaped into a tool which was held in one hand. The other stone was held in the other hand. Okay. The second stone was used to strike the first till the first one acquired a design or shape. So these two stone to stone. Stone to stone means that they were using the stone to make a design in the stone. Then pressure flaking was there. Now pressure flaking in this stone to be chipped was a place on a firm surface such as a rock. Don't we have that hammer and the chisel? We do chipping, the masons, the mistris do chipping. They try to they make small holes in the wall or in a place on the granite floor before they want to put it somewhere. So that chipping they used to do. They used to sharpen one stone. With that sharpened stone, they used to hit on another stone with a heavy stone to carve it out. Pressure flaking. That was called pressure flaking. And there was the uses. Actually, the tools were used to cut trees, basically. Scrape from the trees. You must be having some pictures in your book, if I am not mistaken. Yes, see, chopping is there, scraping is there, and hunting is there. And the stone on stone is there, pressure flaking is also there in your book. So what I am saying is nothing wrong out here. So it's matching with you. Whatever I am saying is matching in your book. Okay. So this was the main issue. And they used to dig ground with it, used to hunt animals, skin them, take out the skin, such animal skins to make clothes for themselves, and chop meat, fruits and wood. This was the basic thing with them. So we are going to keep it till there, and I'm coming back in the next video and I'll just read through, I'll just explain you more, and after that we'll go ahead and read the book when I come back. Or I can do one thing is, I'll come back in the next video. I'll read it till here where we have done, and after that I'll take it forward. So it will be slow and steady, and we can do it casually and slowly, part by part, so that you don't get too much of pressure. I don't want to put too much of pressure on you, but I want you to enjoy it as a story. History is actually story, his story, someone's story, his story. So it's his story. So it's like that. It's all about the past, and we'll learn that, and once you get it done. And I know you guys are very smart, and you are one of the best groups in school, and after my class 6, I cannot forget that, because that was my only class I had. I'm very emotionally attached to them, and I'm emotionally attached to you guys also, but there's a difference, 6 and 5, and now you're 6 and they are in 7. So that soft corner will be always there for them, but I like you guys also the same as I like them. But don't worry, I'll make sure that you all, this videos and whatever information I put up is going to help you to learn this subject. If you have any issues, please do go ahead and let me know. Okay? So thank you so much, and I'll come back in the next video. See you till then. Wait till then, okay? Don't run away.